Bananas, a hidden danger for kidney patients? It's just a banana. What harm could it possibly do? That's what Rajesh thought when he added 2 ripe bananas to his morning smoothie. He had always considered them nature's perfect snack, rich in nutrients, great for digestion, and a go-to energy booster. But Rajesh wasn't just anyone. He had stage 3 chronic kidney disease, and he had no idea that those innocent bananas were about to push his body to the brink of crisis. Doctor's note, listen closely. As a nephrologist, I've seen too many patients underestimate the potency of potassium, especially when the kidneys are already damaged. Bananas are deceptively dangerous for individuals with impaired kidney function. Yes, they're natural. Yes, they're full of fiber and vitamins, but they also carry a potassium payload so high it can quietly disrupt the body's entire electrical system. Let's talk about potassium for a moment. It's essential for health, responsible for muscle contraction, nerve signals, and keeping your heartbeat regular. But too much potassium in the bloodstream, what we call hyperkalemia, can be lethal. Now, if you have healthy kidneys, they act like a vigilant security guard, filtering out excess potassium through urine. But if your kidneys are damaged, they get lazy, overwhelmed, or even shut down. That's when potassium begins to rise, silently. No symptoms, no warning, until it's too late. What happens in hyperkalemia? In mild cases, you may just feel tired, weak, tingling or numbness in your legs. But as potassium levels climb, so does the risk to your heart. Your heart rhythm begins to change. Palpitations become arrhythmias, then a flatline. Yes, sudden cardiac arrest is a real and documented risk of high potassium in kidney patients. But back to Rajesh. By the time Rajesh arrived in the ER, he was sweating, short of breath, and had a dangerously irregular heartbeat. A blood test revealed his potassium level had surged to 6.8 mmol/L, well above the safe range. He was confused. "All I ate were bananas. Just bananas," he whispered. But those just bananas almost cost him his life. Bananas. The breakdown. 1 medium banana equals 420 medium potassium. CKD patients may be limited to 1,520 mg of potassium per day. Eating 2-3 bananas could easily blow that limit. And it's not just bananas. Avocados, oranges, dried fruits and melons are also potassium-packed. A sweet risk for kidney and diabetic patients. Fresh, juicy, pure sunshine in a peel. That's how most of us think about oranges. Whether it's a cold glass of orange juice in the morning or a snack during the day, oranges have earned their place as one of the most celebrated fruits in the world. But here's the twist. For some people, that innocent citrus may quietly become a dangerous health trap. Doctor's warning, not all fruit is friendly. I still remember one of my patients, Mrs. Mehra, 62 years old. She came into my clinic complaining of constant fatigue in her legs, occasional dizziness, and strange heart palpitations. Her blood sugar levels were swinging unpredictably, and her labs showed an electrolyte imbalance that puzzled her general physician. She was diabetic. She also had early-stage kidney disease. When I asked about her diet, she smiled and said, "I've been so good, doctor. I cut out processed foods. Now I just drink fresh orange juice every morning, 3 glasses a day." That's when the picture became frighteningly clear. Why are oranges a risk? Oranges, while healthy in moderation, are high in 2 things that can be dangerous in specific medical conditions: potassium, natural sugar, fructose, and glucose. For most healthy people, the kidneys flush out excess potassium, and the pancreas regulates blood sugar with insulin. But in people with chronic kidney disease, CKD, or diabetes, those systems are already compromised. So what happens? The dangerous domino effect. When oranges are consumed in excess, especially in juice form, this is what unfolds. Potassium starts to build up in the blood. The kidneys can't excrete it fast enough. Hyperkalemia, excess potassium, develops silently. Muscles begin to weaken, especially in the legs. Nerves misfire, causing strange sensations or cramps. And most dangerously, the heart starts to suffer. Heart rhythm irregularities, such as arrhythmias or skipped beats, can develop, sometimes suddenly. In extreme cases, they can even be fatal. And while that's happening, the natural sugars in oranges spike blood sugar. For someone with diabetes, this can cause glucose surges and crashes, further exhausting the body. Back to Mrs. Beira. Her potassium levels had climbed to 6.3 mW/L, dangerously high. Her blood sugar readings were erratic. The orange juice she thought was pure and healthy had become a toxic flood, overwhelming her already vulnerable organs. She looked at me with confusion. "But it's just fruit, doctor. Everyone says fruit is good for you." And that's the part we don't talk about enough. The truth about orange juice. 1 glass of orange juice equals tilde 500 milligrams of potassium plus tilde 22 grams of sugar. Drinking multiple glasses can quickly exceed potassium and sugar limits for kidney or diabetic patients. Unlike whole fruit, juice lacks fiber, which normally slows sugar absorption. The sugar hits the bloodstream fast, causing insulin spikes. What feels like a burst of energy often ends in a crash, or worse. Doctor's final guidance. If you have kidney disease, diabetes, or heart rhythm problems, limit your intake of oranges and orange juice. Stick to small servings if allowed by your doctor. Choose fruits lower in potassium and sugar, like apples, blueberries, grapes. Always check with a renal dietitian or endocrinologist before changing your fruit intake. Watch for warning signs: fatigue, leg weakness, heartbeat changes, numbness. A doctor's warning when healthy turns harmful. Sonia, 55, walked into my clinic with nagging pain in her lower back and fatigue that didn't match her active lifestyle. A school teacher who lived on smoothies and clean eating, she prided herself on avoiding junk food. Her labs shocked us: elevated potassium levels, signs of early kidney stone formation, and dangerously fluctuating electrolyte levels. When we traced her diet, the answer sat at the top of her smoothie list. Kiwis? 2 every day for months? So, what's the real issue with kiwis? While undeniably healthy in many ways, kiwis contain 2 compounds that can be dangerous for certain individuals. 1. Potassium. 1 medium kiwi contains over 215 milligrams of potassium. For healthy kidneys, this is fine, but for people with chronic kidney disease, CKD, it's not. Damaged kidneys cannot efficiently filter potassium, leading to hyperkalemia, excess potassium in the blood. Dangers of hyperkalemia: muscle weakness and numbness, irregular heartbeat or arrhythmias. In severe cases, sudden cardiac arrest. 2. Oxalates. Kiwis are also rich in oxalates, natural compounds found in some fruits and vegetables. Oxalates bind with calcium in your urine, forming sharp crystals known as calcium oxalate kidney stones. Even moderate consumption can contribute to stone formation in stone-prone individuals. Who should be concerned? People with chronic kidney disease, CKD, anyone with a history of kidney stones, those with electrolyte imbalances, or heart conditions, diabetics, on renal-friendly diets. For these individuals, what seems like a harmless habit, like eating 2 kiwis a day, can build up over time, silently taxing the kidneys until symptoms strike suddenly and painfully. Doctor's final advice. If you're dealing with kidney issues or prone to stones, here's what you should do. Limit kiwi consumption, especially if eaten daily. Increased water intake to help flush out oxalates. Track potassium intake with help from a dietitian. Request blood tests to monitor potassium and oxalate levels. Switch to low potassium, low oxalate fruits like apples, grapes, and strawberries. Go back to Sonia. Sonia made one small dietary change, replacing her daily kiwi habit with safer alternatives. 3 months later, her lab values normalized and the pain faded. But she had this to say: "I never imagined something so small, so natural, could cause such big trouble inside me." And that's the warning more people need to hear. Final thought: is that kiwi really safe for you? Kiwis are not evil. They're packed with nutrition and can be part of a balanced diet for the right person. But if your kidneys are compromised or your body has trouble handling potassium and oxalates, then that innocent green fruit might just be your body's silent saboteur. So before you slice into your next kiwi, pause and ask, is this nourishing me or hurting me slowly? Cantaloupe, a sweet summer treat or a silent kidney threat? It's a hot summer afternoon. You open the fridge, and there it is, a chilled slice of cantaloupe, glistening, orange, juicy, the kind of fruit that feels like health itself. You scoop up a bite, enjoying that smooth sweetness and light crunch, never guessing that this seemingly innocent fruit could be quietly putting your life at risk, especially if you have kidney disease. Doctors note, it's not always about what's healthy, it's about what's healthy for you. They tell you about Ravi, a 60-year-old patient with stage 3 chronic kidney disease, CKD. He was doing all the right things, cutting back on fried food, drinking more water, and eating more fruit. He switched from snacks to melon bowls and smoothies, but what he didn't know was this: a single cup of cantaloupe contains 470 plus mg of potassium. For someone with kidney issues, that's a dangerous overload in just a few bites. 3 weeks into his healthy diet, Ravi was rushed to the ER with dizziness, weakness, and irregular heartbeat. His potassium levels? Through the roof. The cause? Cantaloupe and honeydew every single day. So what's the real concern with cantaloupe and other melons? When kidneys are healthy, they filter out excess potassium from your bloodstream efficiently, but with CKD or even moderate kidney decline, that filtration process slows dramatically. This leads to a dangerous buildup of potassium in the blood, known as hyperkalemia. Dangers of hyperkalemia: irregular or slowed heartbeat, muscle weakness, cramping or numbness, fatigue and confusion, in severe cases, paralysis or sudden cardiac arrest. The tragic part? You may not feel any symptoms until it's too late. Cantaloupe and melons, the potassium bombs in disguise. Let's break it down. Fruit potassium. Cantaloupe tilde 470 mg. Honeydew tilde 405 mg. Watermelon tilde 170 milligrams, but people often eat several cups. When you're told to stay under 2,000 milligrams of potassium per day, a small melon snack could take up 25% of your allowance, or more if you eat a bowl full. Now imagine doing that daily, thinking it's helping your health. Doctor's tips: if you have kidney issues, avoid high potassium fruits like cantaloupe, honeydew, oranges, bananas, and avocados. Track your potassium intake with help from a renal dietitian. Stay hydrated, but under your doctor's guidance. Replace melons with safer fruits like apples, berries, grapes, or pineapples. Get regular blood tests to monitor your potassium levels. Final thought: is that sweet slice worth the risk? Cantaloupe isn't inherently bad. In fact, it's a powerhouse of vitamin A, C, and hydration for healthy individuals. But if your kidneys aren't filtering like they should, then that luscious bite can silently tip your internal chemistry off balance with life-threatening consequences. So next time you're staring at that melon bowl on a sunny day, remember, it's not just about what's fresh, it's about what your kidneys can handle.